Hi guys, it's Mark from Burton Bibles, and today I'm going to be doing a video that at least one person has requested on the channel, and I'm always open to requests for new videos and new content suggestions. And today we're going to be taking a close look and comparing the Cambridge KJV Concord Reference Bible and the Cambridge ESV Topaz Reference Bible. Both Bibles are seen as flagship products in many ways. The Topaz for the ESV and the Concord for the KJV offerings from Cambridge. So we're going to be having a look at these two Bibles. Interestingly, the Topaz is going to be a cross-translation edition. So we will be seeing shortly two new translations, the KJV and the New King James Version from Cambridge. I'm not too sure what order and I'm not too sure when, but I believe later this year we will either have a finished product or at least know for sure what's coming and the timescales. So let's take a look at these two editions and just ascertain how closely they compare. Let's go to the table.
Okay then guys, here we have the two Bibles in question then. The Cambridge ESV Topaz Reference Edition, which was released a little while ago, last year, from Cambridge. Absolutely beautiful Bible edition, really pleased to see this come to market. And here we have the KJV Concord from Cambridge, which is their long-standing mainstay. And really sets the benchmark, if you ask me, for a really good King James Version reference Bible. Now, as we look at these two Bibles, we're going to notice straight away that there is an immediate size difference between the two. The Topaz was billed right from the outset as a larger Bible, and as such it is focused very much on easy reading, great for public preaching and public reading, but also great for having on your desk as a study companion. The KJV Concord is rather unique in many ways because it meets all of that criteria, but also maintains this really sort of just less than standard size Bible dimensions. So it is quite portable as well. So that's something to bear in mind when you think about these two editions. And maybe you've got your eye on the King James Version Topaz, which will be coming out at some point. Who knows, the coronavirus pandemic may well have something to say about the timescales for that, who knows. But nevertheless, maybe you're waiting on the KJV. Do be aware that it is going to be, if it's the same dimensions as this, which I believe it will be quite a bit larger. Not necessarily thicker, but certainly taller. It's more in the turquoise mould. But for the purposes of this video, we are comparing these two editions. They come in familiar now clamshell design cases, the Topaz being the new style Cambridge clamshell, which I actually prefer to the old style. But let's take these Bibles out and have a good look at them. Now, I have actually got both are bound in black goatskin, so we're going to get a really good comparison of the editions here. They should be quite close, like for like. And here we are. It is, from what I can tell, exactly the same black goatskin. No differences there, and you can see the similarities straight away. Both have Holy Bible on the front. I know some people like that, some people don't like that. And on the spine you will get a very familiar look. And you'll see the difference in translations, and of course you'll get the Cambridge KJV crest on the bottom. So the two Bibles are very beautifully bound. They have perimeter stitching around the outside. Both Bibles will also be edge-lined as well, which, as we look into that, we'll see that both are edge-lined. However, the Concord reference will have a synthetic lining. So this isn't vinyl, it is a sort of an imitation leather synthetic lining, but it is edge-lined, but that's just something to be aware of. The Topaz, however, is fully leather-lined, and the internal, I think it's a leather calfskin or something like that they've chosen to line it with. So that's just something, again, to bear in mind with those two editions. So we have some dimensions. Let's just take a look at these dimensions in closer detail, shall we? The Topaz is about 10 inches, whereas the Concord is less than 9 inches tall. So that's something to bear in mind. There is over an inch difference in height here. If we look at the width though, we'll see that the Topaz is just less than 7 inches, but the Concord is about 6 inches. So it's nearly an inch narrower as well. So there is an element of compactness to the dimensions here, which is quite appealing. And this is one of the reasons why I really like the Concord. It does have very compact dimensions, and even if we compare it to something like the Westminster, you will notice that the Concord is ever so slightly more compact. It's narrower, it's slightly slimmer, and it's slightly lighter. So that is something to bear in mind. The Concord is a very nicely dimensioned Bible. In terms of the spine width, I think they're going to be more or less identical. One is about 1.25 inches, and I think the other one's going to be 1.25 inches as well. Sorry, that's not on camera. Yes, about 1.25 inches for both of these editions. Now, we have some beautiful art gilt page edges that you'll find on both. And you will also find 2 really nice ribbons. The Topaz has some very attractive ribbons and head and tail bands there. So there are some similarities in that. So we have some options here though. The Topaz is available in a range of bindings. And if memory serves me right, and you'll have to forgive me, I am kind of going a little bit off memory here and a little bit off some information I have. There is black goatskin leather, there is dark blue goatskin leather, there is black calfskin, and there is cherry red calfskin as well. As far as the Concord goes, we also have a range of bindings here as well. We have goatskin leather. This is available as a black letter or a red letter edition, so please do bear that in mind. If you want a black letter, you can have a black letter. You don't have to have a red letter like this particular one. It's also available in calf split leather as well, which is a binding that I really like. And that also is available as a black letter and a red letter. And you can also get a thumb indexed Concord, which I have shown on the channel before, and if I remember to do it, I'll put a link to that video as well. So really nice binding styles and choices, and a bit of variety as well. Now, let's get into the Bibles themselves. There is some similarities in paper. I'm not entirely certain if they are the same. I think they may be, which is a really high quality Indopaque paper. It feels very similar throughout, but I do like the paper. I do slightly prefer the paper in this Topaz. The opacity is really good. And if we look at the print in these Bibles, we will notice that the digital typeface in the Topaz with the line matching, so the lines being in the same on the same line on the front and back of the page, helps the readability of this volume no end. The Concord, I don't believe, is line matched, being an old letterpress type typeface. So you will notice, I mean, I have to say it because viewers have pointed it out to me before as well, you may get an edition that has some print variation in the Concord. This one, it is pretty good, but I have had people point out to me there is slightly darker pages and slightly lighter pages. I think you'd have to have a really keen eye and be quite scrutinising the pages to notice it, but I have noticed it on occasion in Concords. So just be aware of that as well. This typeface is taken from the 1950s. The plates were starting to show inconsistencies, and these are digital reproductions of those plates. So just be aware that there may be some variation. There is the red letter there for you. It's a good red letter. It's not as bold as the Cameo red letter, but nevertheless, I find it fairly consistent, or consistent enough for me anyway. We've got running headers across the top here, and the Concord reference system is a really good reference system. We'll try and zoom in on that. I will keep the Bible on the table. We have the bold letters, the bold numbers rather, on the left or the right hand side of the centre column will indicate which verse it is referring to, and those bold numbers are really quite readable and quite handy, the Cameo with this centre column reference system would be a perfect Bible in my opinion. So we have the reference system there, really clear, really nice font in the Concord. Just so you guys know, it is a 9-point times semi-bold font in this Concord, so it is quite readable, it's quite nice. It does have self-pronouncing text, so just be aware of that. And in the back of the Concord we will have a really good Concord concordance. So there's plenty of references, plenty of, if you're searching for a verse with that word in, you're probably going to find it in here. There is also a glossary in the back of the Concord, so a nice amount of helps, I feel, to assist you. And there is also a Bible dictionary as well, and you will have 15 maps. Now these are the Moody maps, I believe. Let's have a look. No, these are the Cambridge. These are the Cambridge maps that you can expect to find in your Concord should you order one, and they are really nice maps. I do quite like these. They're nice and colourful. Zoom out again. So yeah, a really great Bible. Let's just focus attention on the Topaz a bit. Now the Topaz is slightly different. This one has a 10-point font. It is very, very readable, and you will see as we focus in that there is some colour in this Bible as well, which is nice to see. We have the sort of bold dark red chapter numbers and verse numbers, which are fantastic. And as I just tilt the Bible up, you'll see that the reference system as well is very clearly laid out. You have bold verse numbers, which is great, and you have chapter divisions here as well to clearly delineate where the references are coming from. You also have some translation notes at the bottom of this Bible. Now, how do they compare? Well, in terms of a layout, in terms of a typeface, in terms of most things that I like in a Bible, I would say the Topaz really has upped the game. The clarity there, the quality there, the general production that's gone into that Bible and the design is phenomenal. The Concord is also a fantastic Bible, and if you are a KJV fan and you're looking for something that just has a nod towards compactness and portability, the Concord is still a fantastic Bible and probably the best choice if you're looking for something that is more traditional in its look and feel as well. When the King James Version Topaz comes out, whenever it does, I genuinely believe that edition will be simply the best in terms of readability and usefulness and all-round quality. That will be the best KJV reference Bible on the market, probably. The Westminster is very good as well, but I just feel that what you can see here, and don't forget there is a huge price difference between something like the Westminster and the Topaz. The Westminster has just increased in price. I believe the Westminster is now about £75 for the standard size Westminster, but this KJV goatskin will probably be in the neighbourhood of, I don't know, 200 and something pounds easily. If we were to compare them more closely, we would probably use the calfskin Topaz as a bit of a guide. But even if we take that, I believe that retails for around £175. So it is still going to be in the neighbourhood of at least twice as much, if not more. But you get what you pay for, and the design and the system that's gone in here. This is going to be something new. It's a lot like the Westminster was a few years ago. The Westminster was a new production of the KJV, and we love it. And it's great that we live in a world where we can have another new production of the KJV, which will be larger, slightly clearer, and have all of this fantastic quality. Both of these Bibles are Youngblood productions. They're printed and bound in Youngblood in the Netherlands by Youngblood, so that is something to be aware of. You're going to get the same hallmark, the same quality throughout these editions, so that is something to bear in mind. So really excited to look forward to the KJV Topaz. It will be amazing. There will be a New King James version of the Topaz as well, and all of the editions are going to be amazing, and whatever you go for, you'll be more than happy with it, I am sure. So we've just had a little look at the Concord and the Topaz, and I hope that it has been of interest to you. Any questions, comments, do put them in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and of course share this content with others who you may find who will be interested in it. So thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you're well. God bless. Take care. Bye bye.